stop acting shocked when our starter peaks way too fast in the summer? Hi, I'm Annette, micro baker in Chicago and owner of Dough My Goodness Bakery, and I'm here to help you simplify sourdough. If you're like me and you're dealing with summer heat right now, your starter is probably peaking faster than usual. That may mean that your usual daily feeding routine might not cut it. So if your starter is collapsing well before it's time to refeed, these tips are for you. Here's what I do to keep my Jane Dough healthy and stable during the climbing temperatures in the summer months. I know that the instructions that I give in almost every starter tutorial says to start with 1 gram of your carryover starter, which would probably look something like this, but we could actually go less. So I dip my starter whisk in my Jane Dough. This much is enough to keep your starter going. If you carry over less starter, the starter then has to work harder to get to peak. Work harder just translates to takes longer. Using too much carryover is part of what makes your starter move faster. That is plenty. And after I have selected the amount that I want to carry over, sometimes I actually take a wet paper towel, just wipe my tool off, so I'm not carrying over more than I intend to. I know what you may be thinking. Keeping such a small amount is really scary, but I wouldn't steer you wrong. All you need is a small amount of the live culture and a lot of food for it. Another thing that I do is I chill the water that I'm going to feed with ice before I feed. A cooler feed can buy you a couple extra hours before it peaks. 15 grams. And I normally use 25 grams of flour. If it's particularly hot in my house, I might go up to even 30 or 35 grams of flour. Flour is the food for the yeast. The water is the pathway that the yeast use to get to the food. So less water means lower fermentation. We like her thick. Now, if you don't have or don't use air conditioning and the temperatures in your home get above 80, you may need to feed more than once a day. There's only so much that you can do to slow down fermentation without air conditioning. Or refrigeration, because I don't recommend that for long-term storage of your starter. Here's why I don't recommend parking it in the refrigerator permanently. Temperatures below 40 degrees Fahrenheit are not good environment for your starter. Some of the yeast strains responsible for strength and flavor die off in temperatures that cold. So cooler temps for short periods aren't harmful, but permanent refrigeration for your active starter isn't advisable, unless you're taking a break from sourdough completely or going on vacation. If you're interested in getting in the sourdough game and looking for a sourdough starter, my Jane Dough is a strong, reliable culture that's been through many hot summers with me and come out thriving. She's established, she's proven, and she's ready to go. Combine her with everything that I teach here on my channel, and you've got everything that you need to bake amazing bread. At the end of the day, good starter care just comes down to controlling the factors that are in your control. Small adjustments go a long way, so stay tuned in and let your starter guide you. Happy baking.